Good afternoon. Welcome to another thrill-packed Friday. Oh, this is a good one though. This is a Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, we should have costumes on, right?
I I I have mine on. Yep.
It's a
Should
good
have done costume.
costume.
You like it?
Yeah. Is it your bowling shirt?
It's the bowling shirt. I have two. This
Oh,
is it.
nice.
Yeah. This is my J. Henry. It's bourbon. It's very good bourbon, by the
Oh,
way, from
look,
Wisconsin.
we've got a guest.
What in the
Hi,
wait a
guys.
minute.
How are
All
you?
right. Well, hello, Fox person, strange Fox person. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Halloween. I'm going to be the panda. I think that'll work. Maybe not.
And in 24 hours, we go back an hour.
What? That's this weekend?
That's this weekend. Yep.
Holy crap. All right, so we go back. What do we get? More sunshine?
Fall back, less sunshine.
Oh, you get one more hour at the bar. That's right. I remember these days.
Yeah. One more hour at the bar.
Yeah.
And how does so Dion, you're in your summer, correct?
Yes, we are going into summer, yeah.
Wow. And we're just going into the depths of winter.
Well,
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
just opposite.
Today was the coldest day in the South all year round, 69 degrees.
Yeah, although Greg doesn't go into the depths of winter anymore.
Yeah. No, it was 41 degrees here today.
Very nice.
Well, let's see here. What's going on in the wonderful world of copiers? Art, you got anything for us?
Yeah, quite a few updates
Excellent.
from last week. All press releases, and we can speak about a couple of them if
Cool.
any of them resonate. Ricoh had emailed about accelerate global expansion in the process automation business domain by creating AI-powered software as a service platform, Ricoh Intelligent Automation. Rather lengthy title, right?
Got a big marketing department to keep alive with a good budget.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't do as much marketing as some of the other copier manufacturer companies.
Right. Interesting.
So this came out of Tokyo, and AI-powered improve operational efficiency, productivity by automating series of tasks like extracting and reading information from various business documents, linking together mission critical systems, storing and utilizing data. Okay.
Yeah, sounds like 2021, but I could be wrong.
Original document link disclaimer, and that was about it. Ricoh had their dealer event show in Nashville today.
Been hearing good things about that show, actually.
Yeah, yeah. And I was surprised that they kept it to the top 80 dealers in the country.
Budget cuts.
I guess so, right?
Yeah.
Smaller location, smaller event, lower costs. And I didn't see any pictures with devices. Not one. I saw a lot of people pictures, but
I
not
think I
device
saw one with
pictures.
them all on stage, didn't I? Yeah. They released didn't they just release a slew? I thought they did.
I know Konica Minolta just recently released four
within the
devices.
I think it was this week I saw some pictures. I could be wrong.
Pictures I saw were just of basically people and people with hats.
People with hats.
People with hats. You know where that comes from, right?
Yeah. I'll never wear a hat.
Well, let's see what else we got here. DocuWare announces opening of DocuWare AI Hub, which is interesting. Hey, if you guys see anybody popping on the meeting, I don't know if you can accept them, but I'm on a different screen.
Okay.
So I can't see the Zoom screen at all.
Okay.
Well, Art, just on that digital transformation, from Ricoh. I actually saw that as well, and the one which was interested to me was the HR process. And I printed out the case study, and it's a BMI, and the head office is in Liverpool in the UK. But when I went through the case study, and your second item was now DocuWare, and it's actually their onboarding process and induction of employees via DocuWare. So I thought, now these folks are taking my space, but we're actually one leg behind because they actually want to onboard via DocuWare, and that's what we did. Oh, that's what we are doing on a daily basis. We are also onboarding via DocuWare, but now we are going past them with Ava. So yeah, that's what they are referring to, bringing in the transformation side of onboarding.
Wow.
And late afternoon, I received an invitation that the sales director from EMEI or EMEA side
Right.
wanted to have a meeting with me on the 11th and the 12th. Just to explain what we are trying to do, but it's all about DocuWare. But of course, I'm not here. But yeah, I'm actually sitting here with a case study. I've actually printed it out. So that's what we are doing.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah.
And if I can make a comment about just to add some color to what Dion's saying is that this combination from Ricoh specifically, a SaaS offering that does OCR and ICR and document classification stuff it's probably a winning combination because, for people that don't know, I'm an ex hardware scanner guy and an ex recognition guy, so I've been on both of those worlds. And the most successful products I ever saw, hardware, had basically OCR with it, bundled with it. You press a
Right.
button, scans an image, and it does OCR. And it's so easy and simple. So that's what Ricoh's done, is taking the hardware and now it's a cloud service instead of a bundled software that you install on your computer, but it's the same concept, right? People, at the end of the day, you want an image and the metadata from the image to do a workflow, like Dion's saying, right? An HR workflow, whatever. So, and traditionally what you had to do is go get a scanner, then go get a capture software package, then go get a DocuWare storage system, right? And then create a workflow with these three components. So what Ricoh's done is that, basically cut it down to maybe two vendors, Ricoh with their hardware scanning and the scanning mechanism of the copy machines, scan a document, go through their cloud service. And then even, they do own DocuWare too. So it can go into so there's one vendor that you can get all this stuff from. And that's what Dion's talking about is like, they have all.
So interesting, Kevin. So let me ask you, here it states that Ricoh's strategy to become a global leader in process automation, helping organizations transition towards autonomous operations. So what are your thoughts on that?
It sounds like a lot of words to say, everything's going to be automated. In other words, don't touch it, don't review. Like the OCR quality should be so good and it can learn over time with AI. So it's 100% straight, we call it STP, straight through processing, right? Put in something, it understands the classification of the documents. This is a business card, this is a receipt, this is an invoice, this is an agreement. So classify it, then extract the data. Right now, I mean, just honestly, right? OCR is far from perfect, right? If you have not a really nice document, it could be 60% accurate. So you're correcting a lot of characters and a lot of words and stuff. And I'm talking a couple of years ago when I was still in that industry, but just over the past couple of years, the amazing ways that you can improve the quality. So what they're talking about autonomous is like don't touch anything, don't have to correct anything. It just fixes itself, gets better over time.
Got it.
And that's what didn't happen, 10 years ago. We did not have machine learning stuff in the cloud like this. So
Right.
Well, we didn't have, so I'm guessing that's the AI that they're talking
yeah,
about,
I think
right?
so.
It's learning the mistakes or
That's
whatever, right?
That's right.
I'm guessing.
Isn't there still problems with images? If you
Well,
have a text-based and image-based documents?
well, everybody's coming out with their good image processing, to drop out colors and do despeckles and get the skew and, do color saturation. There's all kinds of great techniques that you could apply to make the OCR better. And all of them have really come up with, I mean, VRS, Kofax VRS was the thing, at the time, 15 years ago, when everybody had it, but everybody's got a VRS kind of equivalent stuff that does the image pre-processing to make it better for recognition engines. So the two combined gets really high quality extraction now.
Right. And wasn't VRS one of is that the technology or was that the company?
It was a technology. So Kofax
Oh,
created, it's called virtual rescan. And it means
got
that
it.
when you scanned a document, like usually you had to change settings and rescan it, but you could virtually adjust the settings on Kofax VRS. And that was unbelievable. You didn't have to saved a lot of time.
So are they, I know they're older packages used to be allowed X amount of scans and then there would be an overage charge for scans. Are they still doing that?
Uh, I don't know if they do it for VRS anymore. For VRS, they do it
But
for
they
their
used to,
capture.
right?
Yeah, yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they charged by image. Mm-hmm.
So Dion, did you say you're already using, what was it, DocuWare?
Yeah, we are using DocuWare for various tasks, like purchasing, payments, PODs, the HR side for onboarding. So yeah, we use it extensively on a daily basis. So I'm the final approver for all payments, for instance, and purchases. So so it goes through the whole office, and then eventually it comes to me for final approval, and then it goes back to either the purchaser or to the financial manager or to the credit controller if it's a credit note or whatever it might be. So so yeah, we use it 8 hours per day.
Okay.
And just coming back to the scanning side, on Kevin's side, I think I mentioned it last week as well. Ricoh's got this new IMC 6010 and IMC 4010. And they are serious. They've got serious scanners. They can scan credit cards and pay slips, and they can scan whatever. And like Kevin said, it can actually correct itself, and it can differentiate between shades, etc., etc. So so I think they're into all their new machines are more like a scanner than a copier.
Exactly. That's that scanning mechanism they put on those. I used to be the product manager for that. It has a nice straight paper path. So like Dion said, you could scan a plastic card or different size documents, and it doesn't jam like, if you had to feed it around a drum.
Right.
So it's very forgiving and very good. And it only stays, the glass is only like a couple inches. So it actually stays on the feed path only for a short amount of time. So the likelihood of a jam is very, very infrequent, if at all.
And it scans to size of the document, which is even better.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, so we got some more news to cover until we get into our main discussion. Konica Minolta launched 4 monochrome BizHubs. So basically, they show a picture of 2 A4 printers and 2 A4 MFPs. And it actually interesting. They're 40 and 50 page a minute devices. But they kind of look like Lexmark devices. I could be wrong, but if anybody's seen the picture that I posted on my site, they kind of look like Lexmark devices, or would they be
Well, Lexmark is Xerox now, but was it?
Yeah.
Is it
Nine
exist?
Star?
Well, that could be because just because because Lexmark didn't make all their machines, or did I don't remember, right? So they had to outsource it to someone. Now they don't. So
Right.
maybe Konica picked up the whatever the heck Lexmark was doing,
Yeah.
which would not surprise anyone, really.
No. No.
Huh.
Not
They
a,
might put their own branding on it.
Right, right. Because Lexmark was doing that before. They're now at Xerox, so now the source has got to go somewhere else. Huh. Interesting.
right. So here's a dealer. Greg, you might be familiar with LRS.
Yeah. Very familiar.
Okay. So for those that aren't familiar, that's Levi Ray Shoop, if I
Shoop.
pronounce that right.
Shoop.
And they announced cloud-based print, scan, and audit suite. So it's interesting. It says here the VPSX Direct Print Cloud SaaS lets organizations manage drivers, printers, locations via floor plans, and all other aspects of workstation printing. Interesting.
Oh.
Rather than relying on an on-site server, the Direct Print Cloud service directly interacts with LRS Personal Print Manager agent running each user's Windows, Macs, or Linux workstations. What do you think about that? Is that something new, Greg, or different?
Well, no, but it is for them. I think it's their brand too, isn't it? It's all their stuff.
Yeah, it's all their stuff.
Their stuff. So more power to them. I believe, if I remember, I think they're out of Wisconsin too. I'm not sure. Chicago, somewhere.
They are Illinois, Springfield.
Oh, Illinois, me. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I believe that they have a pretty good set of customer base. There's something about their customer base that I never ran into, like mid or something like that. But they were a technical house too. So this does not make any. It doesn't surprise me at all.
So would that be more about creating their own dashboard and
The whole thing
keeping
sounds like.
all of their own data in-house and then
Well,
using that data to increase their business?
it could, but I don't know if they do that, right? I mean, it's up into their. It sounds like it's up into their cloud, and they're just managing it all. It even sounded like they're providing their own cloud print, right? As opposed to going up to who does that? Microsoft. That's what it sounded like. But then I think it's very verticalized too. But that they're a good, strong firm. They concentrate in some good verticals, and I think at the mid enterprise to enterprise. So
Right.
more
And here
power
it
to
just
them.
here it just goes say MFP secure print cloud pull printing software enabled. Enables any user to print
Full printing.
to a holding area, then release the job from a qualified MFP with a card code. Yeah, we know all about that.
I never knew if that really caught on, right?
So for certain companies, yeah, it
Yeah.
does. Certain IT people where they get annoyed when they see documents just laying on the printer and nobody picked it up.
Oh, that part, yeah. I always liked that pin print and all that, and
Yeah.
pull it down wherever you're at. But so I just remember how it was kind of sold. You could print it in New York, fly out from San Francisco, and then pull it down, and your docks down off that device, or you could even send it to that device. I remember that too. So you weren't printing off of the cloud; you're printing off the hard drive. Who
Right.
did that? HP maybe, but that was the
Yeah.
idea. I don't ever think it caught on.
So Greg, you're going to love this one. So Xerox released their third quarter results.
I did not see it, so go on, please.
So revenue up $1.96 billion, 28.3%. How does that happen?
Yeah, add all the
Lexmark.
Lexmark. Yeah.
Lexmark,
Lexmark.
right? Yes.
What
Absolutely.
was their operating margin?
Gap net loss 760 million. or $6 per share.
A net loss? That's what you said? I didn't hear that.
GAAP net loss.
Gap. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, of 760 million.
Well,
Adjusted.
imagine if they didn't roll in well, that might
Uh-oh.
have something to do with Lexmark though, too. I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Adjusted net income of 27 million or 20 cents per share, down 7 millions or 5 cents a share year over year, respectively. Operating cash flow of 159 millions, up 43 million from year over year. So that's obviously has to do with the Lexmark acquisition as well.
Yeah,
I
they
guess.
claimed the well, they claimed the revenue and probably the cost of the acquisition might have been last year. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I know it went through the official date was June 1st.
Oh, okay.
So that would have populated on Q3.
Right. So it's in there.
Right. Interesting.
Poor Xerox. Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else with copy machines?
Our friend Lee Davis at Open Brand had a kind of interesting thing about HP raising the price on ink again. And it was like, it was like 24 times this year that manufacturers have raised the price of ink. And I was just like, back in the day when I was using ink, I was like, it was so expensive back then. I was frustrated. I can't imagine the price that people are paying now.
Well, it used to be as expensive as gold. I remember that comparison, but now I don't think it is because
Well,
gold is going
gold's
through
up
the
to
roof.
$4,000 an ounce.
Yeah, so I hope it's not that expensive.
It could be more expensive than gold.
Jeez.
It's more expensive than blood.
Yeah, that is. So it's always been known that if you want to increase revenue quickly, just raise your price on
Yeah.
whatever. And nowadays, because I don't know what percentage they have in subscription, that might be part of it. But yeah, and HP's got everyone by the short hairs, always has. So they could have easily, increased their revenue by just giving it a couple cents here and a couple cents there on a quarter.
Do they all raise prices, or do you get at a point where it's just like, I don't trust this vendor anymore, I'm going to find an alternative, or just stop printing?
There's
Kevin.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Well, you're not going to choose anyone else's cartridges because they don't allow that. They don't make them.
No, I just get a whole new printer, right?
You could get a whole new printer, which people have done, right?
Yeah.
So
they can go to Epson, they can go to Canon, they can go to Brother.
Ink thingamajigger, what do you call it? And still HP holds the majority of the market though.
Yeah.
Go figure. I mean, I know back in the olden days, HP was almost as valuable as IBM. If you wanted an appointment with a IT director, just say you're from HP and you will get in the door. Same with IBM. When IBM came through the door, everyone paid attention. So there's still a big hold the market. So, it takes a long time for people to switch their, to change their mind, say, I'm going to go to Brother or whatever. And then there's always, gosh, I bet you there's still the old, that Brother, somebody hears something bad about a machine and you remember it for 30 years and you never buy it again. Right.
Yeah.
But which is weird because everyone has an HP nightmare story. Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They still use them.
They still buy them.
Yeah.
Just, it's what is it? A
Do you
conundrum.
Greg, do you ever remember?
But HP is also very clever with their chips on their cartridges, and that is actually becoming more and more of making it the proprietary entity. So that chipset is so defined that you can't get past it.
No.
So I'm looking for some other news here. And I would say as far as copy machines and print devices go, I think that's about it. There was a ton of news. NVIDIA partnership with Redefine Cybersecurity in collaboration with CrowdStrike.
Yeah, they're $5 trillion market cap now.
It went up in like 3 days.
Yeah.
2 days, it went from 500 to whatever the heck, you know. Well, if you want to start talking about it, because I did watch the NVIDIA keynote, and what's his name? Jensen,
Yeah.
right? So I watched it last year, and I think I watched it, maybe it was 2 years ago too, when ChatGPT was just starting to take off because it was on NVIDIA chips, and they showed Jensen delivering the first Blackwell or whatever to OpenAI. They walked it over, carrying it, gave it to Sam. He's standing right there, signed it, and then walked out. Literally hand delivered the first thing to OpenAI years ago, and that's how they drove their engines, their whatever they're called, the tokens, the transformers were run on that. So what? Only 2 years later, what was it? Okay, then the year I watched them, they were talking about modeling the Earth, the globe, like with all the weather, everything. Just we're gonna make a global model, like a twin, a digital twin of the Earth. Okay, and then that was 2 years ago. And then he showed how AI designed the plant that was going to build AI chips. Wow. And you know how much time it cut down on building these fabs, because fabs would take a long time to build. But now because they build the twin first, and the twin included workflow paths of how humans would walk from one machine to the other, how the inventory would move, how the trucks would park, how the raw materials would come in, how they come in, the presses would hit the silicone, how it would get packaged and sent out, everything. So they could model the whole plant, exactly how it should be. It was just great. That was 2 years ago. And then he's on stage this week, and it's like not twice as fast, not 10, it's like hundreds of
Yeah.
times faster.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
it was an Apollo moment, because I'm looking at going, and he's going, and these 7 new data centers will be built in America by Americans. He's going on and on about all the sourcing is from the US. It's like, wow, dang. And it's a lot of freaking money. Then he talked about a collaboration between one of the cell phone companies, I think. So the cell phone infrastructure guys are going to start using NVIDIA chips in whatever the heck they use it in, right? So then, yeah, with the 5 trillion, what was it, 500 trillion or
They're
5
5 trillion market
five
cap.
trillion?
First company ever to get that designation.
And I
5
think
trillion.
Microsoft was 4 and Apple was 4, like 3 days ago, or
Yeah.
at the beginning of the week, and now NVIDIA jumped both those guys. But there's even news on Apple too. I mean, their stock went up because they finally got behind their M5 chip, which is
Yeah.
their M chips have always had the capability. I
Yeah.
think we even talked about it here, to
Yeah.
hold records on the chip,
Yeah.
secured records.
It's been underutilized.
Never, yeah, no one wrote anything to it. And now, but it was also a good AI platform.
Yep.
So now they're starting to talk about that. And that's an ARM chip that doesn't need all the energy and power. It's a great move if it works. So, but man, what Microsoft Monday, I think, might have gained 16.
Yeah, they did good. AWS reported great earnings on cloud capacity and AWS services. Yeah, so there's a
And
lot.
then I heard the VC market is just even more on fire than it was before, all in AI. So the investment has just tripled in like weeks. You remember, because we hear about the AI bubble and everyone's talking about, oh, we're putting too much money in, we're not getting ROI. Well, somebody somewhere thinks that we can't put enough money in.
Yeah. And then
I,
Facebook stock went down, but it was because
yeah,
Zuckerberg said we're investing in data centers. And he said even if we build over capacity, we'll be able to lease them out to GCP or somebody else. We'll take this capacity. So like even if the bubble bursts and he can't use it, he'll sell it to somebody else. It's like
sure,
crazy.
yeah.
Like,
Then I think, was it 2 weeks ago, they talk about the cyclical thing. What was it? NVIDIA got investment from someone who, or gave, it was weird. You know, they gave, NVIDIA invested in one company that was going to buy NVIDIA chips. Here's a bunch of money. Okay, I'll take it back. Here are your chips, kind of thing. So it was like a circular, but doesn't matter. It was huge numbers. I guess the point is that NVIDIA thing is, I mean, it's pretty, oh, he hooked his chips to quantum. So he showed how what are the chips? The NVIDIA chips are going to work with quantum computers, and he diagrams it. Here it is, and it was working. It's like you have 20 of my NVIDIA chips. One quantum computer can manage, because you know how this quantum stuff works, right? It exists, it doesn't exist, it exists the same time in two different places. It's bizarro world down there. And he says with these 20 NVIDIA chips, we can process at 100 times faster than what the other guys. And that's a shot right at Google with their quantum. It's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Because all that'll come out in AI. That'll all, you know, all the mistakes that, all the trouble that AI is getting in, I guess, for hallucinations and running up against weird shit.
Yeah.
It won't matter anymore. Because these quantum things, they're not. Challenge that we run into in this kind of processing is it's all bit oriented. It is only two states. It's either on or it's off. So no matter what you do, how much you process, you're still processing one bit at on, off, on, off, on, off. That's what you're doing. You're like trillions at a time. But with quantum, it's kind of on, it's kind of off. It's like the old fuzzy logic days. So you can, it's almost analog. So you can mimic thought, because we don't think on, off, on, off, on, off. We think flow, right? Everything flows. So the quantum thing would be huge for, you know, agentic AI, real live AI. So anyway, yeah, that was exciting to me. It's like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys must go and read this article in Industry Tab. Computing goes atomic. The world's thinnest chip breaks new ground. And this is dated the 22nd. So
Oh wow.
the scientists at Fudan University in Shanghai have created a groundbreaking chip that's only a few atoms thick.
Oh wow.
The device merges two-dimensional materials with conventional silicon technology, marking a turning point in how future computers could be built. So I can forward this to you. It's quite interesting. The thinnest chip. So, like I said last week as well, a chip underneath your skin is most probably not that far off.
Yeah. Well, those are, that gets down into it's micro. It's not even nano. 2 atoms.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
here's
and
something.
they call it atom 2 chip.
Atom 2 chip.
Want to go to something different news this week. So the headline got me. How China built a humanoid robot that's cheaper than an iPhone. Have you heard of
That's not
Boomi?
difficult.
Have you heard of Boomi?
The Dell company? Or something different?
No, Boomi,
China.
child size. Boomi can walk, dance, and
Oh,
assist
yeah.
Oh yeah.
educational tasks for merely $1,400. Price lower than some of the latest smartphones. Boomi brings humanoid robots closer to mainstream audience with 3 feet and 26 pounds.
Isn't that cute little one? Is that one of those with the
With round hands?
with the big head? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll share my screen. I can show
Instead of looking at it, I'll let you do it.
show the video.
That's $1,400.
Yeah.
Oh.
Might need one for the
That's
show.
not the one I remember. Okay, go. Yeah. Neotex?
They said they sold 500 already in pre-orders.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. All right. $1,400.
It doesn't have any fingers, though, right?
No
the
fingers.
nubs.
So I'll
Just
scroll
uptake
down
on-
a little bit.
hook on it. Neotex.
Neotex price point is hard to ignore. Competitors, humanoids, Unitree, and Tesla Optimus, anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000. That was basically the the one item I got off of that, which I thought was pretty interesting. I didn't delve that deep into it. I was wondering about the programming of it.
Yeah. See what the operating, what it is. Would it be? It's not Boomi then, right?
It's
Neotex.
the product Bumi, I think.
Right.
It seems in robotics that Python is pretty much the language.
Greg, your audio's out. Everybody's audio out?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. I think I had 22 windows open. Tabs. Okay.
So
What else?
$1,400. I mean, 3 feet tall. If it had fingers,
Well,
I mean, you could probably pack 9 or 10 of them in a Tesla
yeah.
and then just program your waypoints and let them out.
It's like a clown car. They could shove like 30 of those clowns in a car, right? In a small
Well,
car.
you know what? Yeah, they probably
Swarm.
fold up into like a 1x1 cube or
How about
something.
a swarm of boomies getting out of the car.
We could just duct tape hooks to their nubs. Or Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Well,
what I'm saying is you have a robot and then the hands themselves are very
Mhm.
expensive because that's kind of the specialty, right?
yeah.
These robots can,
Yes.
yeah, they can move and whatnot, but for it to really do something of benefit, you got to get the add-ons basically.
You've got a couple of manufacturers out there that are just specializing in hands.
Yeah. That's very interesting to me. It's like, okay, so they are just our
That's all
hands
they
are the
do.
best. So now if you are a humanoid manufacturer, you don't have to worry about hands, you just have to worry about the interface. That's a pretty good idea. Huh. Well, I
Brings
don't
you
know.
back
We'll
to the
see.
1980s, right? Stereos,
Oh, all the
tape
component
players,
parts.
all
Right.
components.
Equalizers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Yeah. Yeah. CD, tape deck, 8-track.
Put them all
Real-
together, you make your
Yep.
own system.
That's right. Well, that was fun back then.
Maybe what do they say? Not one comes around, goes around, but
History repeats.
yeah, history repeats.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. We'll see.
So, Kevin, you know anything about the Boomi, or is that your first introduction to it?
Yeah, I was just looking at their website here though. It looks like it needs help.
Can you program it?
Well, it's I was just looking at that official open source, and then they have a bunch of not information. They have placeholders, it looks like, for the website. So there is no information, but it does indicate they have open source software. Then I was looking at the.
So could you put an LLM on it?
I bet you can. They have a picture of a NVIDIA system. So if it's like the other ones, I bet it would be the same idea. I think so. I don't know for sure because I can't see it, but there's some download software here and whatnot.
Right.
So just for the record, I'm just going to say I don't know for sure, but it looks like it.
Very interesting to investigate, right?
Mm-hmm. Full-size robot.
What do you think, Dion? Would that help you in your farming?
Yeah, but I think the hand is also applicable and a necessity.
Correct.
Because if you want to pick up something like an apple or whatever it might be. You need the hand.
Yeah. Oh, what do you grow? What do you grow there?
Oh, everything. Grapes, apples, pears. Further on in South Africa, bananas and pineapples.
Really? Pineapples?
Yeah, all pineapples, lychees. So yeah, no, we've got everything here. Arrows, avocados.
So
Um,
avocados too, huh? I thought
Yeah.
those were just
Yeah.
in Mexico.
Okay, we got
No,
California
no.
avocados too.
No. We've South Africa we've got the East Coast and the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast where it's actually where it's cold and rainy and stuff like that.
Right?
And the East Coast is more the humid and hot climate. So that's where you get all the sugarcane and avos and the bananas and lychees and all that type of fruit.
Huh.
God, how big is your operation?
On the farming side,
Yeah.
it's one person may own 5, 6, 7 to up to 10 farms. If you take a venison, for instance, you know what's venison,
Yes.
wild buck and stuff like that. Those oaks farm on 17,000 hectares.
Hmm.
So it's quite big farms because of grazing purposes and other stuff. But yeah, farms are very big, and that's of course the economy of this country is farming, and then you've got all the other businesses assisting by fixing and manufacturing and commercial type of businesses.
Greg knows where I'm going. Right, Greg?
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm sure it's the same as is here in the States when you harvest and bring things in. Like out here, we take them to what do they call the elevators, right? The central, like in the county, would bring all the corn into one place. All the farms would bring it in, and it would go to the elevator, and that's where they did where they did the pricing and they sold all stuff. But
Yeah.
there was all sorts of stuff going on there. Is that similar out there, or how do the
Now,
crops get in?
I think Dion's more of produce orientated than
Produce. Okay.
grain orientated.
Yeah,
Still the
produce,
same.
and then also, of course, it goes to a central point, and
Yeah.
they export all over the world.
Right.
If I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ceres in Santa Fe, in California,
No.
a town called Ceres, Ceres,
No.
No, I'm
in
not.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
But if you take Ceres in Santa Fe, California, we've got a Ceres in our area about 80 kilos from me. And if you take those two towns, they're actually exactly the same. They produce more or less the same. They've got a river running through the town.
Right.
So I had a lot of interaction
Right.
with them in the early 2000s.
So, Dion, since you're a farmer, how can you has there been an introduction of AMRs to farmers yet? Autonomous
No.
mobile robots that maybe
No.
take move produce from point A to point B?
No, not yet. No, not yet. We've got these BA warehouses, which is actually oxygen free. So inside of them, they use a type of robot to go and fetch boxes or crates, because humans can't go into those warehouses, because if you walk in, you're basically dead because there's no oxygen
Right.
inside. But that's the most robotic we've got in most warehouses. The latest is basically that we use drones for crop spraying.
Right? So I recently saw one that's a laser weed zapper. It's an autonomous robot, and you
Yeah.
set it out in the field, and it's got LiDAR, and it just goes up and down the field and actually shoots a laser on all the weeds.
Yeah. Now you get them, but they're not here yet.
But
So there's also other types of robotics in agriculture, but they're not really yet in South Africa.
but you would see the advantages of a weed zapper, an automated AMR that does seeding, items like that. I mean, I'm sure there's big, huge machines for the really, really big farms, but I'm thinking more about maybe the boutique farms, maybe smaller farms that could maybe utilize some of these, like maybe something like from Pudu or what we saw from Rich Tech the other day. Just,
Yeah, well,
The big-
just for
yeah.
moving pallets of produce. I mean, I started in the produce industry, and everything was on pallets, right? Cucumbers, corn, watermelons, whenever it was delivered on a pallet. And we always needed a forklift to take off that pallet.
Yeah, you will have to harvest it, and then you will have to get it to a warehouse, and inside the warehouse it will be automated. For instance, like that other video we looked at. But I know you get robotics, a robot. If you are familiar with sweet peppers, you get a green one and a red one and a yellow one. And that robot actually works 24/7 inside a small plant, and it's actually picking the ripe ones and put it into crates, and then it moves further. So you don't need labor for 24/7 because
Right.
the robot is actually picking it for you.
Right. So I read something out in the field that AMRs might not work as well in the fields because of all the dust, the dirt, everything that goes along with being in a planting field or a harvesting field. Your thoughts?
Well, if you look at other robot types, if you get um, a robot which is actually pruning your vines and stuff like that. Coming back to the actual land itself, these days farmers are actually more scientific than in the old days. If you take the height of an apple tree or a pear tree or a peach tree, for instance,
Right.
they manipulated those trees to a certain height,
Right.
so that you can pick it by standing instead of putting ladders up and people falling all over the place and you damage the fruit, etc., etc. So and eventually, because of the height, you will get robots who will actually do the picking for you.
Interesting.
I've seen the pickers. I don't know what they were picking, peaches or something. They're really, it's fascinating that they
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
it's
And they determine if it's ripe and if the sugar quality is correct, etc., before it actually picks it.
yeah.
Interesting. And I guess those bigger areas that you have that don't have oxygen in them are for the preservation of the produce.
So they don't spoil.
That's
I'm
correct.
guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. You can get fresh apples today, which were picked 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's why I
So,
tell my wife that all the time when she goes to buy apples in June. I go, you're buying apples that are almost a year old. wait until October, November to go get your apples.
Yeah, and it's all about there's no oxygen
Yeah.
in those warehouses.
Yeah. It won't decompose or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if everything's I see where you're at. If everything's produce is moved on a pallet, then that's the perfect for not a rough, but a robust AMR that can move pallets. There are AMRs that can move pallets, but in that environment, that's a tough one to me, right? Because well, I don't know. Maybe it isn't. I think a warehouse would be controlled and flat,
It
but
would be flat,
I've seen pallets though moved at those they're outdoors, they're on a uneven floor, like a dirt floor almost. Although, am I thinking of something different?
Well, those warehouses are basically 2 stories high. So it's actually lifting a story by 1 story or 2 stories high.
Okay.
I guess there's elevators.
Yeah, it's like elevators, but it's moving. It's working on barcodes, for instance. So you tell this machine, go and fetch me green Granny Smith apples, and you just let it go into a warehouse, and it will go to Granny Smith's, and it will bring you a crate, and it will bring it out, and from there, of course, it goes to the truck, and from there it goes to a harbor, and it goes into a container, goes onto a ship, and it's going to the east or going to the west, wherever.
Interesting. At all this time, I thought Granny Smiths you could only get in the U.S.
we've
For
got more.
reason.
We've got more Granny Smiths here than anything else, my man. And pink ladies.
Pink ladies.
Yeah,
Wow.
pink lady apples. Yeah, Google pink lady. It's one of the better apples.
Got it. Interesting. We had, I guess Kevin dropped off. Guess he had something to come up on
All
us.
right. That's all right. That's all right. Wow. Interesting.
So next week, next Friday.
Next Friday, a week from today,
Yes.
November something.
Yeah. 7.
What's it?
Yeah, November
7th?
7th. Yeah. We will have a Celeste show.
Yeah. Ask
Right?
Celeste. Absolutely.
And anybody who tunes in will be talking about Celeste. We will let you interact with Celeste. And maybe is there any way we could bring Ava in?
We can bring Ava in as well, yeah.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go.
Cool.
She's very
Yeah.
talkative.
There you go. So we're gonna have the Ava and the Celeste show
That's
next
cool.
next
All right.
Friday, right? So everybody tune in for that. We are Greg and I. Well, Greg's in Florida already. I'll be arriving in Florida on November 10th. We're having our show on the 12th and 13th for our proof of concept for our office supply robot at Safety Harbor, Florida. Of course, if you're in the area, stop in. I'm hoping I have no issues here getting out of New Jersey.
Ooh, that's right.
Because all they're talking about on the news is the all the federal employees now are not getting checks, and they're
That's right.
afraid it's going to start affecting the TSA people, and it's going to start, especially the TSA people, because they only make $30,000 to maybe $40,000 a year. But the flight controllers, right? If they're
Yeah.
gonna
The flight controllers.
if
That's
they're going to
not
be
cool.
showing up for work because they're not getting a paycheck. And I really hope that somehow our government comes together and instead of being so far apart and just says,
Mm.
we
It's
need to
weird.
get this, we need to
Yeah.
get this CR done, period.
But if it weren't for the traffic controllers or even the security folks, I wouldn't know the difference.
I wouldn't either.
Isn't that wild? So I
Yeah.
say pay those guys. They're going to get paid, but you can't hold their checks. I mean, to me, and especially we're just using them as pawns. So screw that. You guys figure it out. Let these guys get paid or whatever. Don't,
Right.
don't you know?
Hey, I even said to my wife today, if they had a tip jar at the airport, they should have put a tip jar at the airport.
Oh my
I'd throw in
God.
$100. No problem.
Yeah. Well, and they're unionized too. They should have had a union fund set up for this because it happens all the time. It's like this is a long time. The government
Right.
gets shut down all the time. So just have a union strike fund. Remember the old strike funds the unions would have? You go on strike, you get paid
Yep.
because your dues went to the funds. But yeah, I think that's the biggest display of, how dumb it is that everyone knows they're going to get paid, but they're just going to let them not get paid so that the pressure can be put on through these poor people who are just doing their job.
And I'm sure these congressmen and
Bullshit.
senators, they're getting their pay.
Oh, hell, don't get me going. Yeah, they are. They're
Yeah.
they're getting paid. It's just baloney. But see, you got my cockles up.
Yeah, so maybe we'll save that for discussion when we're in Tampa.
All right, cool.
But-
All right, well, next week.
Yeah, next week I want to thank Dion for popping on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Dion.
Always
Good
great.
to see you.
And gave us some great information about South Africa and farming and what you guys grow there and what you do. And we're looking forward to hearing from Ava next week on next week's show.
Cool.
Greg, always
Okay.
good. You and I tend to meet too much,
All
but it's always good things. Everybody, please like, follow, share. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.